I think when we're talking about desire, we're talking about this ecstatic, anarchic force within all of us, and a force that we often put constraints on, cultural constraints, personal constraints. The most obvious example would just be the monogamous rules of marriage. And then when we're talking about the extreme lives that some of these characters live and the therapists who try to work with them, we're talking about just a more dramatic version of that, a version whereby the doctors, the therapists, are again trying to often get people to live within those boundaries. So I start the book with the story of Jacob. It should be a light-hearted story. Jacob is a devoted husband and father, a middle-of-the-road businessman. He has an insatiable foot fetish. Merely hearing, he lives in a very snowy city, and merely hearing the TV weather report sometimes, we're expecting a foot of snow, can make him dizzy. He can reach levels of ecstasy through touching a woman's feet that many researchers told me most of us will never know. But because he feels so different in a private and shame-prone realm, that, a private and central realm that really all of us share, he sees himself, because of this desire, as hideous and monstrous. And often when I was spending time with him, I would think, well, how bad can this be? And what woman wouldn't want a nightly foot massage? And this is no normal foot massage. This is a very ardent, never half-hearted foot massage. And certainly it's doing no harm. And couldn't this, if he really worked this out with his wife, be just fine? But for Jacob, it's so shameful that he doesn't want to share it with his wife. He finally finds his way to one of the best-known psychiatrists and specialists in sexual disorders in the world. He's a very, very compassionate man, a heroic doctor. But sadly to me, what happens is that rather than try to free Jacob from his shame, he tries, with Jacob's urging, to free Jacob of his desire. And Jacob winds up chemically castrated, having no desire at all, rather than exploring and opening up what had seemed so harmless, and even an avenue to real ecstasy. And I just saw in Jacob's story something that would reflect back on all of us as we deal with, whether we're normal, very normal, or very different, as we deal with navigating desire and as we deal with how to fit desire into our lives and our worlds.